Hi, everybody. Welcome again to my Educators Podcast. My name is, as you know, Alexis Chestleigh-Harris, and today we are going to make a deep dive into analyzing Arizona's language development approach. So, when we think about that, we know that the definition of an English learner in Arizona is that an English learner is defined as a student who has limited English proficiency and is not proficient in English enough in English to fully understand and participate in regular English language classroom instruction. So we are going to start first on our first big topic. We are going to talk about the distinction between instructional program models. And here I have four different types. Number one is going to be the ESL, which is English as the Second Language. ESL programs focus on teaching English language skills separately from content instruction. EL students are typically pulled out of the regular classes for dedicated English instruction. This model helps students to be able to develop English proficiency, but it also may take a little bit longer for them to fully integrate into mainstream classes. Number two is going to be the bilingual education. So with this program, they really aim to develop both the native language and English language skills simultaneously. This approach fosters bilingualism and academic achievement while preserving the student's cultural identity. Number three would be the sheltered English instruction model. This model adapts content instruction to make it more accessible to the EL students. Teachers begin to modify their instruction to accommodate the language proficiency levels and ensuring students can comprehend fully to participate in mainstream classes. And number four, our last one, is the structured English immersion. This is SEI. SEI provides intensive English instruction for EL students, and it aims to have more of a rapid English language acquisition, and often includes sheltered instruction. So it's a little bit faster for those different components. All right, we'll come back for part two. All right, let's jump into part two. We are going to go over the four principles of Arizona's language development approach. They are comprehensive curriculum, collaborative teaching, assessment and data informed instruction, and professional development. So, for comprehensive curriculum in the Arizona language development approach, they emphasize here the use of research-based materials, and they talk about different strategies that address the language development needs of EL students across content areas. For the collaborative teaching, this principle encourages between English language development teachers and content area teachers to support ELS students to have more of data-driven times and inform more of their decisions. For the assessment and data information instruction, they talk more about how they have frequent assessments of the language proficiency and academic progress. This helps tailor the instruction to the needs of the EL students. And the data analysis informs instructional decisions. And lastly, our professional development In Arizona, they emphasize the importance of ongoing professional development, and educators of they tend to effectively implement these language development strategies and stay current with the research-based practices. All right, come on back for part 3. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up now. We are going to slide into part 3. But before we do, we have to talk about our student agency in the EL instruction. This agency pretty much refers to the active involvement of EL students in their own learning, which is so cool. It is important because it empowers our students to take ownership of their own learning development. When students are fully engaged, they are more likely to progress while learning. Now, last but not least, let's talk about those 4 components of the Arizona's approved research-based SEI models. Number 1 is the newcomer model. This is designed for those new arriving EL students. This model provides intensive English language instruction and supports to help students transition into mainstream classes. Our model that is right under that, number 2, is the pull-out model. This model is for the EL students when they're typically pulled out of the classroom to have that focused English language instruction, and it allows for targeted language development while still participating in regular class. Number 3 is our 2-hour model, and here our model is pretty much called 2-hour because the student is pulled out of the classroom for about 2 hours a day, which is a long time, but it's because this model is very intense in immersing the English language in our instruction and helping our EL students rapidly build their English proficiency. And last but not least, number 4 is our 50-50 dual language immersion. This model promotes bilingualism and biliteracy by splitting instruction time equally between student native English learners and students who are other language speakers when they first come in. This ensures that students develop strong language skills in both languages. All right, well, that wraps us up. I hope you guys learned a lot. See you later.